welcome to this channel, and I'm Nurse Pamela, and I want to welcome everyone. Today's topic we shall be talking about, of course it is healthy related topic, which is so much common in our homes. It is so much common as in every parent has seen this. If you're a parent, if you have a child, if you're first time mom, if you're first time dad, all you need to do is watch this video so it can help you in managing your child. So our topic, or what I want to talk about, is reasons why your baby or your neonate is crying so much. Why there's so much crying? I mean, why the crying is so much. So you need to know this. Maybe for the moms that have maybe 2 kids, 3 kids, they know what to do. But the first time moms, or maybe even if you have 2 kids but you've never experienced this, so if you know these points, if you know this, you know that there's a reason as to why your child is crying so much. So our first point is, if your child is hungry, they want to eat, of course the first thing they'll have to do is cry, or what they have to do is cry, and before they get what they want, they will keep crying. So hunger is one of the reasons as to why your child might be crying so much. And actually, crying to kids or crying to babies is one way of communicating to their parents, to their guardians, to their caregivers, or anyone who is attending to them. So if a child cries, just know it is their way of communicating. And we are talking about the kids. I mean, we are talking about, let's say we're talking of babies 0 to before they start talking. That is one of I mean, it is the time when we get worried so much about what is happening to my child, what is going on with my child. So we've known that crying is one way of communicating to the parents or anyone attending to them. So we said hunger, that is one. If they're hungry, of course they will need something to eat. Next thing, kids or babies want attention. The moment you're done feeding them, they've been happy, you're carrying them in your arms and they're happy. The moment you put them down, they'll start crying like nothing. You hold them in your hands, they're okay. So attention to kids can cause them crying. They want to know if there's someone attending to them, if there's someone next to them. And the next point is fatigue. If they're tired, they're tired, they want to rest. Or maybe you had a lot of work to do, maybe you had a long journey and you went with them, so during that journey they didn't get enough rest. You're holding them in your hands, or you're putting them in a car seat, or anything that you're improvising to use to carry them. They're not comfortable. If they're exhausted, tired, of course obviously they will cry because they're not comfortable at the moment. The next thing is overstimulation. They're sleeping, or maybe you're laying them down on a couch or in their crib and something loud comes out. Maybe there's noise in the room or the house. Obviously that one will startle them and they'll start crying. The next point is sleep deprivation. When we talk of sleep deprivation, we mean if your child wants to sleep but they're not getting a room that is comfortable for them, or you may be disturbing their sleep, they're trying to sleep and something loud comes out and they're not getting enough sleep, it means that they're going to cry all the time until they get the sleep they want, or they get the minutes. If they've been resting for 30 minutes and then after you put them down, after 5 minutes of taking a nap, something startled them out and they're awake. So it means they're not getting enough sleep, or they have not slept at all. And crying is one of the responses that they will give you out of that. The next thing is dirty diapers. Hygiene to babies is one of the things that you should care about, maybe as a first-time mom or dad or anyone else. Maybe you have 5 kids, you have 4 kids, but the baby's hygiene is more important. If the diapers are dirty, maybe they have wet them with urine, pee, poop, or they're going to cry, obviously, because they're not comfortable. The pee is going to cause irritation, they're going to itching, so of course they're going to cry. And moreover, it's wet, it's not even warm, it's wet, so they're going to cry, obviously. So hygiene, dirty diapers. Just know, if your child cries, you need to check. I mean, if you've been noting, if maybe anything happens, you're going to check, is my child hungry, or is my child, does she need attention, is she fatigued, is she having, does she want to sleep, when did I last change her diapers? You have to think about all that. And another thing is general discomfort. Discomfort could be a falling body. Even if it's you, an adult, you get a falling body in your ear, or there's a falling body in your nose or eye, maybe eyelash, maybe something entered your nose, or there's something entered your mouth. Obviously you're not comfortable, and you start tearing as an adult. So as a child, they're going to start crying because there's something irritating them. They're not comfortable at all. So you need to check what happened. Did something go into their ears? Is something in their eyes? You need to check for falling bodies. Another point why your child cries so much is, and I think one of the worrying points, or one of the worrying things, is illness. If your child is sick, maybe it is viral, sick, having an infection, it is a viral infection, bacterial, fungal, just know your child is going to cry. And some of these diseases come with these signs and symptoms where a child has to cry non-stop. Even if you comfort them, even if you console them, they will still cry. So diseases and illnesses, makes kids cry so much because they're not comfortable, and they're not fine. So they're communicating to you that something is wrong. They have to cry. So illness is one of the things that you need to think about. If your child is crying, you need to think about illness. Is my child sick, having any diseases? So you need to think about that. And when we talk of the next point, we have pain. If the child is in pain, it could be any pain to the body. It could be the external pain or the internal pain. Of course, they will have to cry. So we have to find out at the mother if it is worrying, if it is that crying is too much. You found out, you looked at the list of these reasons why your child is crying and you're not getting anything. You need to take these kids to the doctor, to the hospital, because you as a parent at the moment, there's nothing you can do. So they have to do further investigations, find out if it is an infection, illness, disease, or anything else. And second last point is digestive disorders. If we talk of digestive disorders, we mean diarrhea, we mean we talk of diarrhea, we mean constipation, vomiting. These are digestive, disorders. If your child is diuretic, they have cramps, abdominal cramps, they have that discomfort going on, they have colic pain, there's constipation, obviously they will have to cry. Another point, which is the last point, if your baby is, if it's too hot, maybe there's too much heat in their crib, in the room where they are, just know they're going to cry. You need to check, am I covering my baby with too much bathings, or is it too cold for them, or have I put little beddings for them? So you need to check all this. And if you get to know all this, if you have this, if you have a hint of these points, if your child cries, you're going to identify and know, my child is crying, maybe because of this. I need to check and know, is it attention? Is it, do they need attention? Are they sick? Is there something going on in their life, at that moment? But what you need to know is, if a child cries, it is one way of communicating to you as a parent. So hope you've got points. Hope you know now the reasons as to why your child cries. If you're a first-time mom, and if you're first-time dad, or if you have kids but you have experienced this, or you've not experienced this, if you experience it next time, you're going to know why your child is crying so much, and you're going to find out why your child is crying so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I call all of you to subscribe to my channel, and we shall be getting more and more ideas, more and more topics about health.